Today, it's all about the gingerbread. Welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Monica. Thanks for joining me. I'm hanging with my buddies Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Jody of Jody at Southern Seasons to host the Gingerbread in July collaboration. We're joined by many of our talented friends, so please be sure to check out both Dawn and Jody's channels as well as the playlist, which you'll find linked in the description box. We've got a gingerbread fellow to make. Let's get into it. I'll be using some Model Magic air dry clay. I've mixed some acrylic paint in with my clay to color it. I'll link a video that shows how to do that. It's really easy, but you use any clay that you like. I have a half of a 4.7-inch foam ball left over from another project. We're going to be using that. I pressed a flat spot on the round part of the ball right in the center. I did this just by pressing it down on the table. We'll also be using a scrap from another foam ball. I think it was a 2.3-inch ball. I'm also going to be using a 1.9-inch ball. Here I'm showing you a full ball and a half a ball, but I wind up not using that half, so don't worry about that. And we're going to need some toothpicks to start. First things first, I'm going to grab a handful of my milk chocolate colored clay. Again, I added paint to this clay to get this hot chocolate color. I'll have all my paint supplies listed in the description box as well. We're going to need the clay to condition it. You guys know the deal. We're going to roll the clay out nice and flat. This is going to cover the flat part of our large foam ball, so I'm using a large jar lid to cut a circle. It's not quite large enough, so what I'm going to do is roll it out just a wee bit so that, it's going to stretch it and give me the size I need. And we're just going to set that right on top of the flat spot on our large ball. I use my fingers to press it down onto the foam, and then I'm going to take my rolling pin and roll over it as well. Okay, we can set this aside for the moment. Now we're going to grab some of our blue clay, which is going to cover our hot chocolate cup. So we'll condition it and roll it flat, same as before. Once again, I'm going to use a jar lid to cut a circle. This is really just going to make it easier to handle the clay, and we're going to roll that out a wee bit more too. Now we can cover the large part of the foam ball with the blue clay. And I'm just pressing it into place, making sure that it adheres to the foam really well. I'll fill in any bare spots with that leftover clay. And I'm going to roll it back and forth on the table. This is to both make sure that the clay is well stuck to the foam and to smooth it out as we go. We'll just cut off wee bits of clay here and fill in any bare spots. Now that we filled in all the bare spots, we'll roll it around a wee bit more, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. Well, as smooth as we can get it. Using a smaller jar lid, I'll cut another circle from the blue clay. This is to cover the scrap piece of foam that we're going to use as the base of our teacup. I'm going to cut away some of this excess clay here. And I'll cover the bottom with an even smaller clay circle. Using the handle of my clay tool, I'm going to roll over the seams to incorporate the clay on the bottom with the clay on the top. We'll use a toothpick to attach the small scrap piece to the bottom of the large half ball. I'm rolling a small cane of clay, which we're going to use to fill in that gap between the two pieces. We're just going to wrap that cane into that gap, using our fingers to push it in there. I'll use my ball tool to smooth it out and incorporate it with the clay on the two pieces. That looks pretty good. So now let's make the rim for the top of the cup. To do that, we're going to roll a thicker, longer cane of clay. We'll wrap that around the very top at the very edge, just to neaten it up a wee bit, give it a finer look. Although I have to say, the whole time I was making this, which I was really looking forward to for quite some time, I was all thumbs. Mama said there'd be days like this, right? Cutting off that excess there. And I'm going to press lightly because I don't want to jack up the shape more than I already have. But I want to make sure that, it's well stuck to the other clay. Now we're going to use the rest of that clay to wrap around the bottom stem part of the cup. I'm just going to thin it out a wee bit more by rolling it. We'll press it on there lightly, trying not to disturb the shape too much. Let's use our ball tool here to roll over the seams. To make the handle of the cup, I grabbed a thick bit of clay, rolled it out just enough to flatten the top really, and I used a circle fondant cutter to cut it out. I'll employ my ball tool here to try to get this clay out of the cutter without, too much damage. This is always a problem with the thicker clay. See, I'm going to need to smooth that out just a wee bit. So now I'll use that smaller fondant cutter and punch out the hole in the center. You can use a paintbrush handle for this too. I broke a toothpick in half and I'm going to push them where I want the handle to go. Now we'll push the handle right over top of the toothpicks, and I'll use the clay tool to roll over the seams to incorporate it with the other clay. We want to make sure that it's not going anywhere. We can set that aside and work on our gingerbread man, Clovis. Just like before, I rolled out my gingerbread colored clay, cut out a circle, and now we're going to cover our foam ball with it. His head. We're just going to cover that ball, roll it around on the table to smooth it out a wee bit, and again, we'll fill in any bare spots that we need to. We want to make his arms, so we are going to roll out a thicker, shorter cane of clay. We want the ends to be rounded too, because they're going to be his hands. Now we're going to cut that in half, and then I'm going to cut the arms to size. His arms are going to be sticking out of the hot chocolate, as well as his wee feet will be. So we really only need them to be tiny little short things. Now to make his cheeks, we're going to roll a small ball of clay, which we'll cut in half. This will give us like little oval shapes, which are perfect for the cheeks. We're going to place them where we want them to go on his face, and we'll use our tool handle to roll over the seams to mesh up with the clay on his face. He's going to need a sniffer, so we'll roll another small ball, which we're going to use as his nose, popping it between the two cheeks. And of course, we'll roll over it just a wee bit. He's going to need some dimples, so we'll do that by pushing the handle up into the underside of his cheeks. Give him nice deep dimples. We'll roll out another thick, small cane of clay, cut it in half to create his feet. Once that's done, we're going to let these pieces dry overnight. Well, gang, looks like we have lots of cracking. I've never really had this much cracking before, but it has been extremely hot and humid here, so I'm assuming the weather had something to do with this. Anyway, we're going to need to fix this. Look, even his head has cracks. Poor wee guy. Well, to attempt to fix this, I am going to fill in the cracks with the leftover clay. I'll smooth it out, dampening my fingers. Hopefully, this will allow me to work the new clay into the dried clay without it looking like, a hot mess. My idea for this was for it to look like a faux cake, so maybe I can get away with it. Fingers crossed. We'll see tomorrow. Okay, it looks like it worked for the most part. There are still some cracks, but you know what? We're just going to work around. Let's grab our floating medium and do some shading. I'll get a healthy coat of the medium on my brush, working it into the bristles. It's this clear gel here. On the corner of my brush, I'm going to scoop up some Americana dark chocolate. This is called side loading. And I'm going to stroke the brush on my plate to blend the medium with the paint on the bristles. The paint will be darkest at the corner of the brush, and it'll fade as it moves toward the center. With the paint corner of my brush where I want my darkest shadow, right here along the edge of the cup, I'll lay down my shading. I reload my brush as needed. Now, in reality, this portion will actually get covered up, but I wanted to paint it in anyway, just in case some of it peeks through, because, that's just how I roll. It's really not necessary, other than the float around the edge here. And actually, I'm going to float a swirl in the hot chocolate. Again, you're not going to see this, but I'm going to do it anyway, for kicks. I've chosen Americana Sea Breeze to float the outside of the cup. I'm just going to do this floating anywhere I think it would look good, where there would be a natural shadow, just until it looks right to me. You know what I'm saying? I love this sea breeze color, so pretty. If you don't want to float in any of this shading, you could always dry brush. We're going to do that next on Clovis, actually. Right, so like I just said, to give him some dimension, I'm going to dry brush his cheeks and his nose, as well as all of his bits and bobs with Americana Honey Brown. I know most people probably already know what dry brushing is, but just in case, it's when you take a stiff bristle brush, load it with paint, and then wipe most of the paint from the bristles. Then you can use this to give the appearance of texture or highlighting, shading. I want him to have a baked cookie appearance, so I'm going to start out light, and I'll just build the color as I go. His cheeks need a wee bit of blush, so I'm using Ceramcoat Moonlight Rose for this. And again, just dry brushing. I'll build on the color starting out light and just add layers until I'm happy with it. I'll paint in his eyes using Ceramcoat White and my 000 detail brush, because that's the thinnest, finest brush I have, and he is kind of tiny. And like I generally do, his eyes are just like capital D's, really. If you turn it on the side like this, it's just like a capital letter D. Just fill it in. I dot in his irises with Americana Bluegrass Green using the back of a paintbrush handle. Boop. There we go. Pretty color. I dot his pupils with Ceramcoat Charcoal. I outline his eyes with Americana Dark Chocolate, and he'll get eyebrows as well as a mouth with this color. And I'm also going to add a couple of wee dots here and there on him, because I like that detail, especially for a cookie character. It's just one of my things. I'm also going to give his eyes a couple of character lines off the outside corner of his eye. I dot white highlights in his eyes, and I'm going to add swirls to his cheeks and a wee highlight under his mouth. Just because. See, we want him to have that shocked look. I'll paint on wiggly lines around his arms and feet, like a gingerbread would have, classic gingerbread. I will be going over this later to make it dimensional, but this will serve as a good guideline for me. To add a pattern to the cup, I'm going to use some of the Sea Breeze to paint out starbursts in varying sizes. This again is really to serve as an outline for the dimensional stuff. I filled a pastry bag with spackling, and I added a pastry tip to the bag so that we could outline the starbursts. You could use puff paint for this. I have puff paint, but the spackle dries much faster, and time is of the essence. I want to mention too that the brand of spackling that I'm using here is called Red Devil OneTime Spackle. This happens to be the same brand that Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling also uses, so you know it's good stuff. Now, I did have some issues getting the spackling to pass through the tip, so next time I think I'm going to use a larger tip. I just think this one was too fine of a tip to allow a clean flow of the spackling. It is a really tiny opening. Lesson learned. I'm going to sprinkle some Glamour Dust on the spackling because why not? We want to make it sparkly. I'm going to add some to the handle too. This actually was a little bit of a hot mess, but I'm leaving it. Now we can do Clovis's hands and feet. We're going to go over those white wiggles with the spackling, and we'll sprinkle on some Glamour Dust. With my palette knife, I spread the top of the cup with some of the spackling. I just really wanted this to look like more like foam than whipped cream, so just like spreading frosting on a cake. I want it to be big enough so that I can fit all of his body parts in the white part, but I still want some of the hot chocolate to show. You feel me? I'm using toothpicks to anchor his head, arms, and feet into the cup. The idea here is that this is foam or whipped cream, and Clovis, he was just enjoying a relaxing bubble bath in his cup of hot chocolate when someone came along and startled him, wanting to drink the hot chocolate and snack on Clovis. Took him totally by surprise. He's utterly shocked. I changed the pastry tip to a star tip, and I'm going to give him some dollops of whipped cream on the top of his head to kind of mimic bubbles. If you were to take a bubble bath, how you do the bubble hat, bubble crown. You know what I'm saying? Or is that just me? You guys know what I'm saying. Come on now. We've all done this. We did it to our kids. And I'm going to add a red bead to the top as a cherry. We're going to need to add more Glamour Dust to this as well. And I also sprinkled on some snowflakes, and I did add some clay jimmies and or sprinkles depending on where you're from. I added some star frosting tips around the bottom of the cup, so I'm sprinkling that with the Glamour Dust as well. And to seal him, I sprayed him with 2 coats of Clear Matte Sealer. Let's take a look at Clovis enjoying his hot chocolate bath. In the end, I think he turned out pretty cute. He's a wee bit wonky, but I don't know what was going on. I had some issues. Please let me know what you think. I want to thank 2 of my favorites, Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Jody of Jody at Southern Seasons, for co-hosting with me. Please be sure to check out their channels, and there will be links in the description box as well as a link for the playlist. Please head on over, watch all the videos, give everybody some love. You'll get some fabulous gingerbread ideas from all these talented creators who joined us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.